name's Warmaster 101.
Bitches.
Yeah. And we're...
Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks.
And I've realized
Hoes
that...
and tricks. Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks. Hoes and tricks and hoes and tricks.
You having fun there?
No.
That's fair. Anyway, what was I saying? I've realized that it's a pain in the ass to find a new game to play every time we do Random Fact Friday. So I finally decided to say fuck it, and we'll just play a game multiple times over and over again. We'll swap between games, but no more new game per what's it called? Random Fact Friday, because that's hard to keep up with.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, what was that thing you wanted to ask me earlier?
Yeah, there's a couple things. First, isn't it weird, like... one second. Isn't it weird that, like, we call... Like, we elevate pink and brown to the same status as the other, like, colors that, like, in the visible spectrum, like red, yellow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. But pink is just light red, and brown is dark orange. But we don't call them that. We call them pink and brown, respectively. Which is weird, because, like, navy blue and sky blue are different, but they're both blue.
I get what you mean. Like, you know, why don't we call it light red and we call it, like, pink?
Yeah.
Like, that, I suppose I get that. Although I don't know what the fuck you're talking about saying that brown is just a dark orange. I don't see that.
Brown is dark orange. You take orange and you add black to it, and you can make brown that way.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not right, but it's okay.
No, it is right, because I took fucking color theory, Nick.
I mean, I took color theory too, but I didn't learn. I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I get it.
Yeah, look at the color wheel. Where's brown at?
Yeah, I get that. Like, you know, like navy blue, light blue, sky blue, lemon yellow, light yellow. Like,
okay, so brown is made in paint mixing by combining red, yellow, and black. Red and yellow combined make orange. Orange plus black equals brown.
That is weird. Like, I don't know how else to explain. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, yeah, I don't know why we made those two colors like that. Like, basically making them their own color.
Another thing, like, we're going down the color rabbit hole. We have to talk about how fucking insane magenta is.
Oh, you mean how magenta's not an actual color?
Magenta doesn't exist.
Yeah, magenta is meant to be like a fill-in color.
Magenta is our brain desperately trying to perceive like ultraviolet light. Something that it knows exists, but our eyes cannot detect it. Because our eyes can't register it. Because our eyes can only detect, really, the visible light spectrum. So that is, of course, the rainbow, which I've already said is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And our brain is like, okay, there's these colors. They're beyond what we can detect. And we think it's like halfway, because you mix, like, how you make magenta when making paint is you it's halfway between purple and red.
Uh-huh.
Well, halfway between purple and red on the visible color spectrum is green. But there's so much green shit, we know it can't be green.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another color, and we just made magenta. Magenta is the collective hallucination of just every ape on the planet, because we know that like chimpanzees and orangutans can also see magenta. So it's like,
And also, I can't remember which color it is.
but we know scientifically and like chemically and everything, magenta can't exist. So it's like,
I don't remember which color it is exactly, but I distinctly remember it not being this color. Like, I think it's either, I think it's either chartreuse or puce.
puce?
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
P-E-U-S-E, I think, just like puce color. Look up that.
Alright.
But chartreuse, I always thought was like a
pinkish.
Yeah, a pinkish color, but it's green, isn't it?
Chartreuse.
Like a baby puke green, I think.
How do you spell chartreuse?
I don't know. I thought you knew. I think it's like char, like so C-H-A-R, then oops, like U-S-E.
Yeah, chartreuse is like that yellowish green.
Yeah, I don't remember it being that. I remembered it being like a pinker color.
Maybe you just got puce and chartreuse confused.
Is puce the pink one?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
There's a chartreuse green and a chartreuse yellow.
Oh, but
they're both made by mixing green and yellow together. It's just different amounts of like, which is dumb.
You know what else is dumb? Color theory.
Robert Davey, which was Jake Fratelli from Goonies, was a headliner in Las Vegas and classics and released his own album.
Interesting. What do you sing about?
I don't know. Probably Frank Sinatra covers.
Oh, it's over, is it? Nope, that's Steven Universe. Oh, hey, I finally remembered why I was, like, on a Steven Universe kick, like, a couple weeks ago. My manager was watching it with his boyfriends.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Phil Collins drummed and produced Frida's I Know There Was Something Going On.
Phil Collins had no right going that fucking hard on the Tarzan soundtrack, let's be honest.
And Brother Bear, although Brother Bear's soundtrack is definitely not as good.
Yeah, you can
The
tell.
first couple songs of Brother Bear are straight bangers. And there's shit like... And there's stuff like the fucking... Where it's like, we're bears having a party.
We're bears fucking and shitting in the woods.
The Rotten Tomatoes fresh percent is not the average score of a movie or show, just how many critics gave it at least 3 out of 5 stars. So better movies do occasionally have a lower fresh percentage than worse movies.
Oh, so that's why Marvel movies keep on getting 100% fresh, even though they're bad. Morbius.
What do you think getting 132% means?
I'm sorry, what?
That's the memes where they would like Photoshop it so that it's obviously not like, possible. Like it made more $1 billion.
More $1 billion.
I'm sorry. Lost money.
I need to talk about this for a second because why did they think Morbius was a good idea for a film? Was it because they, like, you know, it's like...
Because they only own the rights to Spider-Man characters.
Marvel?
Marvel didn't make Morbius, Sony did.
Oh, shit.
Morbius is a Marvel character.
Wait, but I thought, like, at the end of the Morbius movie, they did, like, a little after a movie teaser where it was, like, you know, trying to...
the Vulture.
No, not the Vulture. They were trying to tie it in with Venom, right?
No.
No.
The ending credits scene for Morbius is the Vulture from Tom Holland's first Spider-Man movie. He comes in, and then not Morbius, the Vulture literally goes like, I'm from another universe. I don't know what's going on, but I think it has something to do with Spider-Man.
Oh, sweet Jesus. No.
Hang on, I'll look at the line exactly. Vulture line from Morpheus. Look.
I have a distinct feeling you're just gonna get a bunch of fucking meme replies. Still
Morbius post-credit scene from featuring the Vulture. 1 second. In the first scene, the sky filled with purple, crackling energy, presumably a result of Doctor Strange's multiverse muddling in Spider-Man No Way Home. Adrian Toomes materializes in an empty jail cell and glances himself in a mirror, making sure he's all there before quipping, "Hope the food's better in this joint."
And was that it?
1 second. No.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'll explain it in a minute.
Because Sony, I don't think you can, like... I don't think you can piggyback off, like, well, you can most certainly try if you want.
Scene cuts to a news report detailing the strangeness of Toomes' appearance. Only facility despite having no record. The anchor reports that hearing has been set, which could likely lead to his immediate release. Toomes is then escorted to a police car by several officers. Mention of how Toomes is transported from the MCU to SCU is posed with level viewers. Morpheus' second mid-credit seems to take place sometimes later. Finds Michael Morbius driving to a meeting spot where the Vulture arrives right on time. Eagle-eyed viewers recognize his wingsuit. Vulture tells Morbius, "Thanks for meeting me, Doc. I've been reading about you. I don't know how I got here. Something to do with Spider-Man. I'm thinking of putting a team together, do some good."
I'm so confused. Putting a team like a Suicide Squad thing, or like
it's the Sinister Six. It's the Sinister Six. He's putting together the Sinister Six.
Okay, that makes sense, but
they're also villains.
I understand the concept of villains going good is a thing in a lot of comic book things. I get that, like your Suicide Squads and your other things. I can't quite remember, but I understand that is a thing. However, the Sinister Six is an actively awful group of people.
Yeah, also, they don't have Morbius in the lineup.
Also, it feels kind of weird that you're trying to piggyback off of, like, okay, how do I explain this without sounding like a jackass? Obviously, boo, we hate Disney's pussy, like, I get that. But
I think I know what your confusion is from.
Sony.
I think your confusion with you thought it was tying into Venom was the ending of the Venom movie had a post-credit scene that kind of implied that he was in the same universe as Morbius, and also the ending credits of the most recent Spider-Man movie had Tom Hardy as Venom show up in their universe and then teleport back. So I think Venom got teleported from that and then back into to the Morbius universe. And so they're setting up a Sinister Six with Venom, the Vulture, and Morbius. Both Morbius and Venom are not in the Sinister Six.
Yeah. Wait, was Venom a Sony movie?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's making sense still. Although, once again, I don't think, because of legal reasons, Sony can, this whole tie-in thing that they're trying to do, I don't think they can, because doesn't, I suppose if it's just an all Spider-Man ensemble. Actually, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I think this is real stupid.
Oh, it fucking is. Absolutely.
Are they trying, are they trying to bank on the popularity of...
So...
Go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing. Venom is occasionally in the Sinister Six.
Occasionally. Are we talking about, at the beginning of the Spider-Man universe when Venom was first announced?
Yes.
Okay. But now that Venom has sort of...
Morbius has never been a part of Sinister Six.
I mean, yeah, sorry, I think I'm still caught up on, the copywritingness of this, because isn't Spider-Man, joint owned, but Spider-Man is joint owned by Disney and Sony, correct? Or does Sony...
Yes.
Okay, so, can Sony use Spider-Man? Or
they would have to make their own Spider-Man separate from Tom Holland.
Okay, which I suppose at this point...
They have in the past.
Yes, I do know that. Are they, gearing up for a fucking,
No, this is Sony desperately trying to make their own universe.
Oh, Jesus.
And saying it's connected to Disney, while Disney's saying, no, it's not.
I mean, good on... No, I can't even say good on Disney, because fuck Disney. Remember when, everybody was, Remember back when, they were arguing over Spider-Man, copyrights, and, everybody's poor Sony, it's nobody is good in this situation. Do not be poor little Meow Meow to Sony. Don't be poor little Meow Meow to fucking, Disney. They're both mega corporations arguing over for a property that neither of them really need.
Yeah.
Plus, can I be honest? Tom Hardy as Spider-Man? I don't particularly like it. I don't like Tom Hardy as Spider-Man.
Tom Hardy's not Spider-Man.
Oh, shit. Who's Spider-Man right now?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. I don't like
Tom Hardy is Venom.
Okay. I don't like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I'll say it right now.
It's because, he's not Spider-Man as, or the Spider-Man we're used to. He's Tony Stark Jr.
Right.
That's pretty much what he is.
Which is his own character.
Yeah, and it's they just turned him into Iron Man. Care for that?
How do I put this? It really also puts down Spider-Man as a character, because Spider-Man in earlier stuff was able to do a lot of the stuff that that Tony Stark Jr. is doing, but without Tony Stark's help.
Yeah.
The idea of a nanobot, the idea of a nanobot, what's the word? A nanobot suit. Another Spider-Man did that in an earlier cartoon series. In fact, I think he did it by himself in the comic book series as well.
Huh?
It's just I feel like they keep making Spider-Man younger and younger. I want a college age Spider-Man, and I want him to stay that way.
Yeah, that's why there was the joke of in the next got to be in middle school.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why the Into the Spider-Verse did so good as like an animated movie, because you had a young Spider-Man, but his mentor wasn't fucking Tony Stark, which I get is a thing in some of the continuities, but
yeah,
Miles, he had another fucking Spider-Man as his not confidant, but as his mentor, and I like that better. Also, like, sad, depressed Spider-Man was kind of a delf, I'm not gonna lie.
bad press Spider-Man. Then you had Gwen as Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, who was just badass competent. And then you had then you had the three, the anime one, and then the cartoon one, and then the noir one.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
Yeah. Also, can I be honest about something? I always feel like animated projects are way better. Like when it comes to
I like the medium of animation more than I like live action in general.
Like DC keeps on being like, what are we doing wrong? When they like do their live action stuff, and it's like, you're not doing anything wrong per se. It's just, I think people like your the animated content more.
Well, DC also had the problem of they were so desperate to be edgy and also Marvel.
True.
Like the Marvel Cinematic Studio.
Yeah, which they tried to do with the animated stuff with oh god, what it was Flashpoint into something else. It was like that.
Those were generally better than their live action ones, but eh. Also, fucking, I hate Damian Wayne so much.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really likes him.
I hate it. He's such a spoiled piece of shit.
Well, I don't think he's super bad in the comics. The every animated
My
series.
favorite scene is when Nightwing kicks his ass.
Damn. You know what? That's fair. What else?
And then Damien quips of like, remember who the birth son is, and I'm like, bitch, shut the actual f*** up.
Damn. Also, can I be honest? I think Batman has too many kids.
It depends. Like I like some of them.
Also,
some of them are edgy bitches, but like, also Damien's such an edgy piece of shit, and it's like we already had a Robin that was like that. His name is Jason Todd, and it actually makes sense why he's an edgy piece of shit.
Because he got the shit beaten out of him.
Exactly. Exactly.
He was
it's
given.
Like you were just. Meanwhile, Damien was just born a trust fund baby, and just.
Well, like, okay, so I know it's like fun to dunk on Batman, like, he's like the rich asshole, but like, I think he actually tries to make fucking Gotham a better place with his money. It's just Gotham's haunted.
He could do so much more as well.
He does though.
No. From an economic standpoint, he could do so much more.
I believe in the comics, he actively does. If we are going on...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking... Okay, I'm talking about, like... Bruce Wayne could eliminate homelessness in Gotham.
Okay.
He could. He just straight up could.
No, and he has tried, but I believe somebody said, fucking Gotham is just haunted and cursed. And
I mean, that is true. Gotham has a really good physical medical system, a shit mental health system.
But yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? I am under the strong opinion that some iterations of Batman / Bruce Wayne are actively trying to make Gotham a better place, especially the animated series Batman. At least he's doing a better job than whatever the fuck Tony Stark is doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just have really strong opinions on, like...
I like Batman. I think he's overrated.
That's...
I think there's a point... Like, Batman fans have become the fucking... a lot of Batman fans come to the point of just like, Batman can be anyone, anything. Like, he's not perfect. He was never perfect.
Yeah.
Stop riding his dick so hard.
I understand. I get that. Honestly, I think what's the word? I think DC. Sorry, I was scratching myself when I paused the game. I think DC heavily like relies too much on the Batman universe for content.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of like. So you get a lot. There's a heavy focus on Batman and Superman.
Barely any Superman, to be honest.
No, it used to be very heavily Superman, and it's Lex Luthor. Just think about how prevalent Lex Luthor is. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Batman and Superman are the heavy ones.
Right.
Wonder Woman is starting to get.
Wonder Woman.
She had the biggest absence for a while.
Yeah, Wonder Woman has started to get a bunch of movies and content as well.
Green Lantern has some context.
Green Lantern.
Mostly animated shows.
Green Lantern has been so shit on.
Yeah, Aquaman recently has gotten some information. Not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Flash doesn't have a lot.
Flash has like
except for like the live action TV show.
We don't talk about her anymore.
It's better than whatever the fuck Ezra Miller.
Wait, what?
Ezra Miller?
Isn't Ezra...
No, he's not. The Ezra Miller, they are not the television show one.
Oh!
They are the movie one.
Oh.
Those are two different actors.
I
don't know, like, it's like, why would you not take the Flash TV show actor and have him be Flash on the big screen?
Well, I guess they were
because money.
I mean, yeah, I guess because money, but like maybe they were trying to do like a Flashpoint paradox sort of thing.
We haven't seen Martian Manhunter or Hawkgirl get a lot of anything.
Oh no,
really?
Definitely not. Honestly, I still think like the best thing that has ever come out of DC was the original Justice League animated series.
That's a good show.
Yeah, that was really. Sorry. Also, Young Justice. Which
it depends on the season. Young Justice.
Do you not like particular seasons?
Oh no, there's just a big hiatus. Then when it came back, there was like it didn't
feel right.
It felt like a different series.
I get that because like, what's the word? The original series was meant for like teens. I did get that feeling, but then when it came back, there were what's the word? The amount of I don't like to say things a whole lot. The amount of deaths that Halo had to go through during the third season felt kind of problematic. You know, her being a woman of color from a Middle East nation, and just her dying over and over again. But it's cool because she could revive herself because of the mother box and stuff. It's like, no, I don't feel like that's right. I feel like, yeah, that's, like, I understand that, like, you're a show for grown-ups now, air quote. Like you've grown up or whatever, but, maybe less of the on-screen gore and all that shit. But, hey, the future of Justice League, no, not just, Young Justice is once again up in the air because fuck HBO Max. Well, actually, no, fuck Warner Brothers, because they're the one who did all this.
Warner Discovery did.
Warner Discovery did, yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
what are we up to now?
We're at almost to 30 minutes.
Okay, I want to say facts that aren't like DC related.
No, it's okay. I honestly think like the videos where we just like sort of shoot the shit like this are kind of the best, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's fair, but I did want to say there's a site I was reading about earlier, and then I did watch a video by Man about it, so shout out to him. But there's a site called the Cerruti Mastodon site. I believe it's by San Diego in California.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a site of, I think there's a dire wolf, a couple horses, and then a mastodon. That's the name of the site. The Cerruti, or the Cerruti Mastodon site. And the dire wolf is almost completely intact. The horses and mastodon especially have a lot of evidence. They have a lot of body parts missing, a lot of evidence of what appears to have been scavenging. And there's marks on the bones from like cuts and breaks, what appear to be like consistent with humans scavenging carcasses. And so at first it's like this, if this was like before they like radio dated it and everything, this was very apparent of like, okay, this seems like a human, if not a kill site, a scavenging site from these carcasses that have been washed by into like a flood deposit or like a river deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And the humans came and then they harvested these body parts of these animals using various stones around them that weren't like really well developed, but there was evidence of like primitive axes and then primitive scrapers and then cobbles, they're called like the hammer and anvil cobbles, where you would like put meat or like a bone in between, on top of the anvil, take the hammer and then break it, like between the two. However, they did multiple radio testing. I believe they did uranium and thorium testing, both confirmed that the site was 130,000 years old. To put that in perspective, the next oldest, and this isn't confirmed, but like the Cerruti Mastodon site is there's a lot of like criticism about it and a lot of like stuff that's still yet to be like signed, like a consistency of the scientific community. There's a lot of argument going on about it. Mm-hmm. Because we scientists will argue shit until we're out of breath. But the next oldest confirmed human site is the White Sands footprints in Utah at 23,000 years ago.
Dang, that's old as fuck.
So the Cerruti Mastodon is around 100,000 years older, like, than the White Sands footprints, which it would push back humans entering the continent by 100,000 years at least. But the bigger thing is general scientific consensus. Anatomically modern humans, which was you, didn't leave Africa until around 100,000 years ago.
Oh god, the creationalists are going to be so insufferable about this.
Well, that's the thing is, like, there's already been some hubbub about that. But I was reading through like scientific responses and stuff, and people were arguing in depth of like, listen, there's no way this could have been anatomically modern humans, which is the only humans we know from North America. And then another person responded with, what if it's not anatomically modern humans?
Ooh.
What if it's Neanderthals? What if it's Denisovians? Which we also know existed at that time. We know use similar tools to this. And we know we're outside of Africa for at least 100, 200,000 years before humans. Modern humans, us.
Fascinating.
And their criticism about that is we have no evidence of remains of Neanderthals in North America, and we have no Denisovians either. But then there's also criticism back on it. It's like, we don't have no evidence of that. Well, the evidence that we have of Neanderthal, we have big caches of information, but it's few and far between. It's like hotspots. We know they were as far as like Ireland, and then we know they made it to like the central Tibetan plateau in Asia. We also have evidence in North Africa and the Middle East. So Neanderthals is like, and we gotta also take into account the archaeological record is by no means perfect. A lot of stuff just doesn't preserve.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, Denisovians are another big one. We didn't even know Denisovians existed until like 50 years ago. Because Denisovans are only known from DNA evidence of us and Neanderthals interbreeding with Denisovians. And some fragmentary tools and teeth, which we thought were Neanderthals for the longest time. So Denisovians are basically entirely ghost lineage.
Ooh, that's scary.
That were only actually really documented. Like the first physical remains of Denisovians were found in 2010.
Interesting.
So, like, if you're talking about, like, could Denisovians had made it to North America? Well, they were all over Asia. So, maybe.
Probably.
We know they made it, we think they made it to Australia, possibly.
So,
and we also face the thing of, like, how would have, like, humans made it to North America? There's a couple different ideas. Different ideas could have been made through different waves. There was traditionally the ice strait Bering land bridge hypothesis, which we have evidence that occurred. Lots of evidence of people going down the Kelp Highway on the western coastline, North America.
Life is a kelp highway. I wanna ride it all night long.
Basically, humans would harvest marine resources as they walked along the coast or took short boat trips down. And also got to think of, like, a lot of information we probably have humans entering North America would be in the Bering Strait, in the lost land bridge known as Beringia, which is now several hundred feet underwater.
Interesting.
In a cold, frigid, constantly storming ocean.
Well,
anyway, this has been your new information.
Ooh, spooky. Spooky
Bye,
information.
guys. How's it going, Binary Pals?